Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the Customizing Culture podcast by Heat Press Nation. My name is Jared. I'm your host, and today I'm joined by a special guest, Michael from Devoted Brand. Michael, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thank you so much for having me here today. I got to first say, Jared, I've been following this channel. I've been following Heat Press Nation, and I'm honored to be here. I also, you've had some of my closest, online, friends.
Mm-hmm.
You had Lee Stewart here from
Oh,
Rogue
lovely.
Lab. You've had
Lovely.
Big Brando.
Brando.
Yeah,
Yep.
Big Brando is yeah, great. And Rich Kuhn, obviously, just from
Yeah.
Hustle Ninjas just recently too. So I'm very honored to be following those footsteps. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, for sure, dude. Thank you so much for joining us. When we saw your story, I saw that YouTube, I think that you did with DTF Station All American. I saw that one, and I was just like, dude, that's a cool setup. And we're gonna get into your story right now. But for people who maybe don't know you, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell everybody what you do, where you're from.
All right, my name is Michael Biller. I own and operate Devoted Tattoo Studio here in Palm Coast, Florida. A couple of years back, I say a couple, but many years back, I ventured into Devoted Brand, which is the apparel line of Devoted Tattoo Studio. I'm also a father. I have 4 boys.
Nice.
I'm a husband and business owner. So that's basically all my hats right there, and this one here too.
There we go. That's really cool. I'm actually one of 4 boys, so rock on.
Awesome.
Brotherhood. Yeah. We actually made ourselves T-shirts that say the Brotherhood.
That's awesome. Yeah, we actually we got a 2-for-1 special. We got twins at the last go around. So
Oh, nice.
I was hoping for 3 children,
Oh, that's
but I got 4. Got a little, buy one get one.
I have one right now, and I feel like, okay, do your twins, do they like team up against the other older ones? Like, do they have an alliance?
It's actually no. The twins are really like good together. But as soon as the older one gets involved, it's like they faction off on each other. Like, so it's definitely like, I thought it would be like, twins versus the bigger one's name is Tyson. So I thought it'd be Tyson versus the twins always, but it's never that way.
That's funny. They got to pick sides. Alrighty, man. Yep. So, man, well, I'm excited to get into your story, man. I think you have a really unique journey that I'm just excited to hear. So you started off as a tattoo artist, right? Or I guess that's kind of where I'm picking up on your story. Have you always been tattooed? Has that been like your lifelong career? What were you kind of doing before that?
To be quite honest with you, tattooing was never in my mind.
Okay.
I started off, I wanted to do comic books. I wanted to do graffiti and comics. That's all I cared about. And all my friends, growing up, I'm 43 now. So all my friends growing up were like, hey, Mike, you should do tattoos. You're good at this, and I had the talent, but I didn't want it at that time in like, 04, 05. I thought, tattooing was just like, tribal and, and lettering. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do like, superheroes, right? Like I want to do like, like exploding galaxies and like big battles. And so, yeah, I pursued comics pretty heavily, but, Miami Ink hit the air, and that opened my eyes to everything. So in like 2007 is when I really like focused on tattooing. But even before tattooing, I always had the idea of doing T-shirts because, let's face it, I'm lazy. So if I could do one design, right, and mass produce that one design, why not, right? But along the way, never really, caught along with like the proper procedures of doing things, and obviously, the lazier you are, the worse are the outcome, so gotta get a little more involved.
We're gonna have to cut that clip and just play it on repeat. The lazier you are, the worse the outcome. Jeez. That's so true.
They could put my smiling face as that, like, Don't be lazy, don't half step it.
Oh man, okay, so now when you say like you pursued So when you say you pursued comics, was that like right out of high school? You're still in high school, you're pursuing that, or what's like the timeline there?
That was from when I was like, when I was like 7 or 8. Like I discovered like, Swamp Thing, and I saw like, actual illustrated like format, like books. And I was like, this is cool, and then I actually, I was able to get a decent paying job when I was like 22, 23. And I had enough money in my pocket to go to California. Sorry, kick the camera. To go to California actually, and go to a convention out there. and I met, some of the creators in the industry. And that's when I kind of realized like comics is a passion, but it's not what's going to fuel my creativity. I
Got
don't
it.
want to be the guy that has to draw, Spider-Man over and over and over. Like one time for a cover, that's all me, but to try to keep it innovative and, and keep the viewer interested, that was the hard part for me. Like I don't want to lose like the passion,
Yeah.
so I dabble here and there, but yeah, now it's just full time, tattooing and creating t-shirts.
That's cool. So then kind of from that, I guess, epiphany, you're like, okay, maybe not that. Was it an immediate jump into tattooing? Was there a few stops along the way?
As soon as Miami Ink hit the air, I saw that my illustrative comic book work could go on people's bodies. So I figured like, hey, why don't I try to transition and put some of this stuff onto skin, and
Mhm.
that's where the passion actually came for tattooing. My first actual piece that I showed to a tattoo studio is a piece that's on my shoulder now that I drew up of Saint Michael, and the artist there was like, "This is good. You should be a tattoo artist." And I was like, "Okay, you're just trying to get me to give you a better tip, like I didn't believe it.
Yeah.
And then after all said and done, he and I became friends, and he showed me some stuff here and there, and I guess the rest is here we are.
Yeah. Nice. So now, how long were you in tattoo? So Devoted is your tattoo shop, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
So how long is a tattoo shop running before you're like, all right, I got to start? Because you mentioned right now, you're like, I'm lazy. I want to just make it once and repeat it, right? So how long after running the tattoo shop or working in a tattoo shop did it take for you to kind of get on the t-shirt or the custom garment, bandwagon?
So basically, as soon as we opened up Devoted in 2013, I wanted to have T-shirts there. I wanted people to to walk around not only with the body art, but also wearing the art on a fabric. So I looked for any way I could to get our imagery on fabric. So like right from the jump.
Nice. Okay, so that there was like not much of a delay at all. It was just like, okay, got to get this done.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes people don't want to get a tattoo, but they have to wear a shirt.
Yeah.
So yeah, so might as well get the brand out there in a different way.
Yeah, dude, and that fits so perfectly too. Especially because tattoo shops, like, yeah, if there's a place that's known for its artwork, it's got to be a tattoo shop.
You would hope so, right?
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah,
There,
you're right. I
there's
guess you
some
would.
places. Some places aren't, you got to look around, do your shopping.
Oh, that's funny. So now, so you make the decision. You want to put it on t-shirts. Are you outsourcing at first, or when did you start bringing the production in house?
Okay, so I'd like to say upon many failed venture with
Ooh,
outsourcing
okay.
that I finally, many failed, being an artist is definitely a gift and a curse because I know what I want to see on a garment, but actually, um, I try to give people mock-ups. I try to give them, the design, the placement, and there's always something that goes wrong. When
Yeah.
you don't have it complete control in your hands with your vision, then I feel like there's always going to be, room for, someone else's, either they're also lazy and they want to race through the job, or they don't have the required equipment that you think that they do have, so we've had a couple I've had a nice like $3,000 failed order where I supplied the garments. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
And
man.
I had to basically sell everything at a nice discount, but you're talking about, a full front graphic that came out the size of like a postcard. And they're like, "That's
Oh my.
perfect." I'm like, "That's
Oh
not
my
what I showed you."
gosh.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, that'll make anyone
But,
want to buy their own heat press the next day. Like, if that happened to me, well, I have a heat press now, but if I didn't, and that happened to me, I'd be Googling heat that night. I'm ordering one.
yeah, yeah. One of the companies that I follow closely is a company called Sullen Clothing. They're out there in California, and I used to carry their merchandise in the tattoo shop, so I'd see their stuff and I'd be like, "How are they getting it done?" And I
Mm.
can't even find somebody here locally to do it. Like what are the clues? Like what's somebody give me the knowledge? So obviously we found our way here through online and noticed that there's different ways that we could fulfill things here in house. So that was awesome to obviously from you guys, and
Oh, nice, nice.
people like Lee Stewart, like before, like they put that knowledge out there. It's like, oh, so there isn't like a wizard of decorating. You can actually do it your own, do it yourself.
Yeah, man. And so you start. What was your first piece? Did you buy you start off like vinyl, or what was kind of like your first venture into the in-house production?
So to be honest, here at Devoted, I tried to keep my eye open for talent, and one of my artists that came through here had a design and decorating background, so he actually brought along his Mamaki vinyl cutter.
Nice.
And then I went ahead and got from you guys the 16 by 20. If you could see behind me, I have it. Yep, the 16 by 20 from Stalls.
Nice.
That's been there since late 2020 actually.
Heck
And
yeah.
it's a workhorse. I use that almost every day, and it's like my bread and butter. But also, if you could see back there too, I have the cap press. I also have a 15 by 15 heat press nation slide out, auto open there too. So and in front of me, out of the camera's view, I have a small tag label press too. So, but from there, I went ahead and got into. I had a friend that had a DTG printer, so he brought that into the studio, and I thought that was going to be that's it. That's the missing component, and no, that didn't work out. The guy didn't work out.
If I could ask, what didn't you like about it?
I don't know. Now, I don't want to knock DTG. I do think it's viable in the industry. I do think that there are cases that people use it and they love it, and no knock to them.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and in my usage here in the studio, it was a guessing game. You had to guess where you're putting the graphic. Now could that be the user? Could that be our error? Well, most definitely. If you don't have the skills and the knowledge, and you just say, "Oh, I'm going to direct to garment, print this stuff up, and it'll be great." Yeah, that's the lazy mindset, But we tried the DTG, and the guy that I had with me, both didn't really work out, and then that's when we basically went, full time, HTV, and I did some printable HTV too, and we're using that, a lot.
Nice. Okay, so you DTG comes in and out. Now and I guess you can kind of fill me in on the timeline here, but I saw this video that you did, and again, kind of showing off all of your the DTF station, all the prestige and all that jazz, and I was like, oh, this guy, he knows what's up. So talk to me about your transition into the world of DTF. How did you find it, and then what was it like, kind of making that move?
All right. Well, just like all of us here that we're online, we're going to YouTube. We're typing up, ways to make things, right? Ways to. I'm watching guys build sheds. I'm watching, people do all kinds of stuff.
Dude, I watch it all. Have you seen those dudes in the jungle? They build the most insane little river resort.
Yep.
I watch those guys. I watch guitar builders.
They said that that's actually fake. The people that are doing that it's all staged. That's what I've heard. I heard it's a little, I hope it's not. Yeah, right. I hope it's not. I hope it's real, but
I want to imagine that. I feel like you just told me Santa Claus wasn't real.
Santa Claus is real. Santa Claus will be here in December.
Thank you. Okay, I'm better now.
Everything on YouTube is also real.
Everything.
Everything. But stumbled across a video showcasing the at that time it was the A3 Plus R from DTF station, and I saw that printer and I'm like, this is my missing puzzle piece. I can print out my graphics, then using quality heat presses, I can place that graphic where I want it on the garment, and not only just a shirt but a jacket, a tablecloth, a tote bag. I can put it on anything. I'm like, this is going to be it. This is it. And sure enough, from that A3 Plus R, I mean, you see behind me here on my my right side, I got the R2 Pro, and
Nice.
just I never turning back. Like, this is like, I do use HTV on occasion,
Mhm.
and I do also outsource still, but it's mostly to people like there's a brand called TKO that does like silkscreen transfers. So I'll use them from time to time, but everything that I can to get my hands on like a transfer applied, design, that's been the bread and butter of Devoted brand.
Yeah, I feel like, it has to make sense for the job too. So like I
Correct.
get a little bit turned off when anybody says that something is the killer. It's like, oh, this is the screen print killer. This is the vinyl killer. And it's like, no, there's space for pretty much everything. I feel like every print method has its pros and cons. So like no one kills anything. Like there's always room for multiple processes, That's how I feel about it.
Especially if you have like I have a 200 piece order, all one color design. Now, am I going to waste my film and my time putting on DTF, or am I going to outsource it or do it HTV? Like it's like you said, you utilize what you have. There are so many tools that both that you can find. Like, don't pigeonhole yourself into one. Like silkscreen, that's still a great option. I still obviously still use it, but do I use it in house? No, I'm not that skilled. Right. I'm not that patient. It's a messy job. And if you watch Lee, I mean, he shows you,
Dude, it's so funny that you mentioned him. Do. It's because of Lee that I cannot wait to start a screen print business, but why I don't ever want to start one. I'm like, depending on which video of his I watch, I'm like, I'm going to do it. Never mind.
Yep.
Yeah, but I love the content.
I'm like, all I need is a basement and some screens and ink. I got it, but no, like he obviously, just like, you and I, has done his research, and he knows what's for him, and that's basically what you need to do. Like in this game is to figure out what pieces work for you, and I mean, yeah, we can go on all day about that.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
yeah, if you don't mind, can I ask you a little bit about how you're enjoying? You said you had the R2 Pro.
Yes.
How long have you had that, and how's it been working out for you?
So basically, the R2 Pro, since its release date, that's when I got it. I had to have it. I knew that, from everything that DTF Station makes, from the A3 Plus R, I knew that the R2 Pro was going to be, a surefire hit here for me. So I've been using it since, like, I think the 28th, 23rd, in that area. I don't know. It's been a blur.
You're basically a day one on the R2
yes,
Pro.
Yeah.
Did you notice an improvement from your A3? We had the A3 R Plus or
A3 Plus R? Yep.
Plus R, yeah. Did you notice a big improvement?
Let's see. The quality is still the same across the board. I mean, it's a high quality printer, but the speed, my God, I did a comparison video I put on YouTube, and I did a full back design on the A3 Plus R. It took that machine, a great machine, but it took that machine 16 minutes to print this back piece. On the R2 Pro, though, 3.5 minutes. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm doing what I slid off for like 2 days worth of work. I'm doing in 3 hours now.
I think the A3 Plus kind of it represents kind of that era of the technology, which is interesting because like DTF technology has just been advancing so rapidly that you could have something that's not even that old, but when you compare it to today's product, it's like, oh wow, today is already like so far ahead. And to me, that's exciting about DTF. I think that's I'm here for it. I'm into it.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. I mean, you feel like all the advancements that we're getting with DTF, it's going to be a trickle down method, So you're also going to get an advancement in DTG. You're going to get thinner vinyl for HTV. You're going to get everything is going to improve because of the demand, So I'm loving it. I'm basking in this glow, So
yeah. So now having the new Prestige. What else? Like, actually, let me ask you this: what's your process? So it comes off the R2. Are you loading into like the powder curing station, or do you have like separate machines? Like, how are you processing your prints?
So originally with the A3 plus R, I was using, just the old by hand method, just flick it off and
Yeah.
pop it into the oven. But now with yeah, and that helped. That was easy. Like I love the fact that it's kind of like the thought process is just once you get that repetition going, that rhythm going, it's
Yeah.
easy. So like I would go from the printer, I'd section off a couple prints, I'd separate it, powder it, bake it, done, But now
Yeah.
with the R2 Pro, I have it paired up with the Miro 13. And the Miro
Yes,
13, yeah, this thing
dude.
it's on steroids.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works too good. I'm used to like some kind of like some error somewhere somehow, but no, this is we actually just had an event this past weekend for the 11-year anniversary celebration of Devoted Tattoo Studio,
Oh,
and
congrats, dude. That's awesome.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
But like I'm here printing in the background while I'm getting everything ready for the event, so it's like it's totally hands free, and you don't have to babysit it. You could
Yeah.
like literally set it and forget it.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome because I know like and again, it's such a new technology, but it's been advancing so fast. So like you have people who kind of took a look at DTF maybe 3, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, they saw it, hated it, and they still hate it today. And it's like, no, you guys, like DTF in just a short amount of time has already taken some pretty big steps. I feel like anybody
Yeah.
who looked at DTF a few years back and wasn't a fan, I would highly recommend giving it another look. Because so when I first trained at DTF, I did the hand powdering in the oven, which is cool. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And then
Yeah.
when we went over to DTF Station, because I actually got to train with the owner, one of the owners of DTF Station, which I thought was fantastic. That was really cool. They trained us on the R2 Pro. They trained us on the Miro 13. And when we saw the Miro 13 in action, I was like, bro, it's easy money. You're just printing
Yeah.
money. Like
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah. That you said it right there. It literally is printing money. I could be sitting here in my studio, and like this is like the big selling point I think too is like you could like literally be baking. You can do a side job while doing a side job because it's hands free. Like I'm here, I'm here in the studio
Yeah,
tattooing for a 6-7 hour piece, but as I'm tattooing, right next to me is the printer work. Did I lose you?
dude.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. It's taking care of itself, making you money. Oh, I love it.
yeah,
Money's cool.
yeah,
Easy money's better.
yeah, yeah. True.
Okay, so I have to ask you because it seems like everybody, myself included, everybody who's kind of on the outside of the DTF world is like, but what about the maintenance? Everybody talks about the maintenance sucks and it makes you want to rip your hair out. Like, honest opinion. We need your honest opinion. Like, how's the maintenance like on the R2 Pro?
So now's the point in the video where you're going to hit that little button on the bottom and rewind to where I said I was lazy because it's honestly like hands free. There are your daily requirements, but it's a simple cleaning. You
Yeah.
get up in the morning, you take a shower. It's the same thing. Like you go to the bathroom, you wipe and wash your hands. So
Yeah.
like it's the same thing. It's nothing extensive. It's nothing that you need like special equipment for. I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Um, Everything with the R2 Pro, from the slicing of the box cutter, has been plug and play. It's been ready to go. Now,
Nice.
is that my lucky, am I the lucky recipient of that? I don't know, but there has been nothing that has gotten in my way of making quality prints. And
Yeah.
I-
The
the
only
only,
Oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so the only issue I had was my own misunderstanding, and it was because I didn't watch the setup video properly. I was skipping through, thinking I was all smart. I'm the guy who tries to build IKEA furniture without reading the manual, right? So I get
That's
it,
me.
and
That's me too.
yeah. So I set up our R2 that we have here, and I'm setting up, and it was things were going along so easy and smooth. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna skip ahead. Yeah, this is so easy. Well, okay, don't if you're watching this, don't skip ahead. Just follow along. But that was the only problem I had was I was fast forwarding through the sections because I'm dumb, and I missed
No,
one
it
step.
was
Yeah.
it was too easy. That's why you skip. It's like why am I doing this? This I know how to do this, but then you
Yeah.
miss that one little portion. Yeah, the
Yeah.
same thing here. It's just you just gotta take your time and review it all. But I want to say the only con that I've had so far with this unit has been I'm having a great time printing, and I forget to order more supplies.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it goes through. I'm overnighting. You could ask them. I'm overnighting stuff twice so far because I forgot I didn't have enough film or enough ink.
Yeah.
So that's honestly the only con I've had with using this system.
That's not a bad problem to have, man. That means you got business. Anytime someone complains about when my customers here at Heat Press Nation complain, like, oh, I have to buy new inks. I'm like, that's good. That means that you took so many jobs that you used your initial set. That means you made money. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
that's a good problem.
it's what you
That's a good
want.
problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so someone's on the fence, right? They're looking into DTF because are you familiar with the Prestige, the A4? You at least know what it is.
Yes, the A4, and I know where you're going. The A4. Now, this is my prediction and my opinion. Obviously, you can put that disclaimer, but the A4 is going to replace vinyl cutting. That's how I'm going out with that one.
You think
Did I
so? You
lose you?
think the A4 is going to replace vinyl cutting?
Yeah, I think so. I feel like
Because it is
such
accessible.
yeah. It's a small dynamic printer, and it prints. For the hobbyist, it's a no brainer. The price point, the quality. I mean, maybe not totally do away with vinyl cutting, but it's gonna. I mean, because obviously, I don't know if my responses earlier were shared with you, but I do believe that a puff vinyl and a DTF print together on garments, that's going to be
Oh,
the next
dude,
wave. Yeah,
that
that
would I gotta try
multi-dimensional.
that.
Yep,
Yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
So
When
you
I
get
post,
yourself
I'll
the
give you credit for
A4.
that idea. That's so I gotta
Oh,
try that.
don't you worry. You could use that at your will. I've gained knowledge from everybody else and people that have been on your podcast and from you, personally, so why not
Oh,
open up the
thank you.
gates and share too?
There we go.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and you know what?
But yeah,
I'll pause and say this. Like, that's one thing I love about this industry is like dude, everybody here is really chill. I've been blessed to talk to a lot of people here on this podcast, and I have yet to have a stinker, man. Like everybody, and that's because we pull people from different businesses, different companies. Everybody here at the trade shows, like we don't exhibit at the trade shows, but I'll go walk around and say hi to everybody. Um, Everybody's so chill, man. And so like your attitude,
yeah,
like, dude, I love that, man. That's one thing that is to me unique about the garment decoration industry is everybody's really chill. It feels kind of like I know it's cheesy to say, but it feels kind of like a big family.
yeah, not cheesy at all. I mean, that's because we're all in it together, at the end of the day. And there is people are like, oh, competition. But like I said before, we all got to wear shirts.
Yeah.
So why not just put your best effort forward and get your shirt seen, and you have 365 days a year of different shirts someone could
Yeah.
wear,
There we go.
so, so I mean, they could own that many t-shirts. Why not have yours be one of them, and
All right, man. So I know you're a fan of DTF. I am fast becoming a fan of DTF. The more I get to use these machines, because we just at Heat Press Nation, we recently this year brought on DTF printing as something that we offer, for sale. So I'm pretty
that's
new
awesome.
to it, to be honest, and so I'm quickly becoming a fan. I know you're a fan, but for the people out there, we got to give them the facts, bro. So if you don't mind, what are kind of some of the quick pros and cons to DTF printing?
Okay, so this is a hard one, like you said. I am very very much a fan of DTF. I could tell you the only cons that I have encountered is I I I don't know what designs will look good at certain sizes, if that makes sense. So like my only
Oh,
con
yes.
is like, right? So like I'll print out a run of shirts. And I'll be like, oh, that's gonna be an awesome graphic. And I'll place it on there and I'll be like, it should be bigger. Like so that's my only
Yeah.
con. That's my only con on that one, really. I mean, from like so if you're so like some of the pros, like they're really the cons, like there really aren't that many. If you want to say like maintenance, I mean, like we said, it's an easy process. You're
Yeah.
really not getting your hands dirty. Keep an eye on your waste tank. Empty that. Clean your print head, and you're golden. But the pros are so endless. It's a no brainer to switch to it. I mean, obviously you guys are carrying the product, so the
Yeah.
customer support both on the company and on the product are second to none. The warranty on the products. I mean everything from the packaging and the shipment. Has been great. Like you can literally create a detailed graphic and have it printed out in a couple minutes and on a
Yeah.
shirt,
Yep.
and you could put that on your showroom or online and make money off of it.
Yep. Yeah.
I recently, I'm sorry,
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I get excited. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
um, I just recently did a live, okay? And I don't know if you guys really want to hear this because it involves the Stahl's heat press that I have here, the
It's okay.
16 by
We
20.
carry stalls.
Okay. So the 16 by 20 heat press takes about 20 minutes to warm up to the temperature I need to press the DTF images. So I made a live on Instagram that basically challenged I said that I could design, I could print, I could cure and prepare a design for a shirt before the Stahl's heat press fully heated up. And
Nice.
I tell you what, I produced a full front graphic. I could have did a dozen of them before the heat press warmed up. So my big thing is like if you're running a print shop or if you're trying to make this like your main business, like you can literally have a client walk in, give you a design, and you could print it and press it by the time they check out, on your register.
Yeah. And that kind of on demand work is like, dude, that's awesome. There's only a handful of processes that can handle that speed. And then, but being able to do it like with that kind of quality or, dark cotton, like, yeah, that's really cool,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. I'm a big fan. I know we're talking about the pros and cons a few moments ago. And I said this off camera, but I'll say it again right now is that like, to me, I think once you kind of see the pros of DTF and you could see them for yourself, the cons are just like considerations. Like they're not really
Yeah.
that bad. I think,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to say DTF is for everybody because I'm sure there are some business out there where it doesn't quite line up. And if that's you, you're probably gonna see the cons as cons. But if you're the kind of business that where DTF does line up with your goals, yeah, the cons are, I don't want to say they're negligible, but it's worth it. It's worth it for sure. I don't know. Would you agree with that?
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm biased, and I will tell you that every business needs a DTF printer, because I've seen,
Yeah.
I've reaped the rewards, but I mean, you have that right. I mean, if you're doing just a one color and that's all you offer, then maybe not not a
Yeah.
DTF setup, but if you want to start doing, like multicolor without using silkscreen, I mean, that's your best option,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Very cool. Man, well, dude, Mike, I really appreciate you for taking the time today to share your story. I know you had some technical difficulties. Hopefully, those all get edited out by the time. If you guys are watching this and you didn't notice any technical difficulties, that's just all credit to our editor. But Mike, man, I really want to appreciate you for your time, for your patience with us today, and seriously for just sharing your story. and your experience, man. I love getting to talk to fellow creatives who are also in the process, who are in the, they're turning the wheels, so I want to appreciate you, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. The pleasure, honestly, it really is all mine. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of yours, a fan of the channel, so just getting to be here and do this for you guys. I mean, this is, by far, all amazing, so thank you. Thank you for having me and,
My pleasure, man.
hearing my story,
Oh, for sure. I hope I hope like every tattoo shop goes out and buys a DTF printer now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a no-brainer, especially when, like you said, we have creatives in the field that could be utilizing, much more than just, a simple one color, process.
Yeah.
So yeah, no-brainer. That's my go-to phrase is just, it's a no-brainer. The price tag, it might get you sometimes, but you have to invest in yourself. You have to put that out there and, you're going to reap the rewards,
100%. Hey, before we let you go, we gotta ask you, where can everybody find you? Do me a favor, plug your Instagram, your socials, your YouTube, whatever you got. Let us know.
All right. Well, on Instagram, I have a personal Instagram. It's Michael Devoted. And then I have Devoted Brand for all of our apparel and our, wacky printing videos. But then also on YouTube, we have Devoted Brand as well. So you can find us on Devoted Brand on most platforms and Michael Devoted on Instagram to showcase some of my tattoos,
Awesome. And if anybody wants a tattoo from you, where are you located again? What's your region, your area?
Oh, awesome. Thank you. Palm Coast, Florida. So
There we
that
go.
might be the reason why we have some errors here because we're across the country right now.
Yeah, it has to travel the airwaves.
Yeah, coast to coast.
There we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this has been the Customizing Culture podcast by Heat Press Nation. My name's Jared. I've been your host, and today our special guest has been Mike from Devoted Brand. Mike, again, dude, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Alrighty, adios, everybody.